Hello everyone! We all come up with crazy, absurd, and simply bizarre ideas, but not everyone dares to actually do them. But then, how can we know whether we can befriend some alligators by dressing up as one of them, or whether chimpanzees can fly a drone? Watch today's video till the end to discover these and other similar experiments. Let's get it on! What if you walked into an alligator pond in an alligator costume? We don't know how anyone could seriously entertain such an idea, but this guy decided to check it out and see what could happen. No joke. This is Gary Siraj, who's going to pretend to be an alligator among the formidable inhabitants of a wildlife sanctuary in Texas. As you can see, they already have an amicable relationship. But dressing up in a DIY alligator costume to test the reaction of the predators is very risky, even for a tamer. By the way, here's Gary's costume. Are we the only ones who think the predators will start to suspect something? But the guy with the plastic alligator mask on his head is absolutely confident. He even feels like a reptile. Look, he's chasing this poor fellow. Here's what happened next. The alligator couldn't stand such madness. Do you think Gary ended his experiment? He approached almost every animal and even challenged the crowd. We can't imagine a crazier experiment. You've probably seen cats and dogs take on this challenge, but how about putting the Minipigs' dexterity to the test? The first level presents no difficulty at all. The wall of 2 rolls of toilet paper is also easy for these little creatures. You probably didn't think they were that bouncy. In the third level, we have a thoroughbred racing pig, and his brother who deals with the obstacles in his own way. Chimpanzees are often involved in various experiments, and this time, researchers decided to find out if they could be trusted with a drone. As you can see, the pilot and his assistant from the Rare Species Fund are doing well. Have you ever tried to fly a drone? Not everyone gets it right the first time, but this chimpanzee makes it fly effortlessly. Okay, you don't have to worry about our planet being conquered by apes. This creature is just pretending to fly the drone, but he still understands what the connection is between the controller and the drone, so he may have other ideas in his head. We've already found that crocodiles either don't want to mess with crazy people who like to experiment, or they can't tell the difference between a cosplayer and a real crocodile. But should we expect the same reaction from horses? With this costume, the chances are slim. How can it work when everyone around has a bigger head than yours? Not surprisingly, the animals immediately realized that this was an imposter. The white horse in particular didn't like this trick. But even a more realistic mask won't help you fool these animals. After all, they're not shrews. You may know that cows and even bulls often flee at the sight of these dance moves. Well, this girl decided to see if her act would make the ostrich back off. As you can see, the opposite happened. Turns out the bird can dance no less menacingly, so the experiment can be considered a failure. As agile as cats are, they also have a weakness. A couple of pieces of duct tape turned them into ridiculous creatures. The ginger cat at least tried to use its teeth to free itself, but didn't succeed. What do you think? Will a raccoon surrender to the tremendous power of duct tape? Well, now we know that raccoons aren't afraid of sticky traps, although we're not sure what to make with this information. It's hard to say which is more unpleasant, having a live worm in your mouth or feeling a chameleon's tongue on your lips. But this person wanted to find out if it's possible to feed a lizard in this way. Now you know that the chameleon doesn't mind kisses at all, in case you need it someday. The following footage is pretty heartbreaking. These folks decided to use a bunch of legendary Doritos as fuel for the grill, and they used the best kind, cheese Doritos. Of course, we already knew that many snacks burn quite well, but look, corn chips burn as well as the finest firewood. They also make excellent charcoal. The researchers even managed to grill steaks on it. However, the meat was infused with the aroma of burnt cheese. Now you know that a pack of Doritos in your backpack during a hike can save you not only from hunger. Here's another exciting culinary experiment. Let's see if it's possible to cook popcorn in a hair straightener. Here's the recipe. First, we carefully spread the kernels on our makeshift stove. Remember that it must be turned off at this point. Then, close the straightener, set the temperature to the highest level, and catch the kernels flying in all directions. If the microwave suddenly breaks down and your favorite movie's about to start, you know what to do. Well, it's time for some experiments on humans. We're sure you've been waiting for this. The research is actually harmless, albeit completely absurd. The guys decide to find out how many strips of duct tape it would take to attach their friend to the wall. Did you count them? According to our calculations, 30 strips are enough to make a person levitate. What happens if you set fire to a plastic cup filled with water? For some reason, no one does these cool experiments in school. Thankfully, we have the internet now. Well, the plastic burns up right to the place where the liquid starts. We hope we don't have to explain why the fire doesn't spread any further. But to be clear, let's check the experiment one more time. You can clearly see it. With a lighter and some water, we can create a new and completely useless mini cup. If you wondered as a kid if you could use an umbrella as a parachute, you probably also wanted to build your own boat with improvised means. Now we've grown up and abandoned these ideas, but this guy's not afraid of embracing his inner child. His plan was to set sail in a boat made of cardboard boxes. All he did was secure the construction with duct tape and some sealant. Now look at the launch ceremony and the failure. In short, sacrificing reliability for the sake of construction speed is not very smart. We have not come to the pool to have fun. Instead, we're going to talk about serious scientific issues. One to be more precise, can 100% acetone melt a tower of 45 foam cups? The experimenter forgot about any safety precautions and gloves and generously poured in the caustic liquid, and the reaction has begun. Half of the tower melted in a few seconds. Look what's happening inside. By the way, we advise you not to breathe during the experiment. In the end, all that remains of the cups is a foamy puddle. Perhaps we've just discovered a way to recycle these cups. There are some experiments you won't want to try at home. Obviously, you're free to put a couple of bricks in the washing machine and see the result, but you'll have to deal with the consequences yourself and explain everything to your neighbors and family. We prefer to see these guys messing with their household appliances. They plug the washing machine into the power supply, switch it on, and nothing much happens. They'll have to break the glass to throw another brick.
'Cause I'm a brick, I wanna spin in the washing machine.
Did you also expect the washing machine to break in half? Apparently, the guys chose the delicate wash mode. After today's video, adhesive tape sales will probably skyrocket. Seriously, did you know you can use it for so many fun activities? For example, you can put your dogs through an agility and intelligence test. Bad news for Labrador owners. As you can see, half of the dogs of this breed are confused at the sight of this obstacle.
Come on.
Only this curly-haired dog had a worse result. The dachshund just showed you what to do. How come you can't do the same? Surface tension is the force acting per unit, blah blah blah. Who needs these boring definitions when you can hit liquid paint with a hammer and see that force in action? There's no cheating, it's pure physics. If you lower your finger slowly into the container, the film that forms on the surface gives way almost immediately, but a sudden blow doesn't even cause a splash. However, you'd better not repeat this experiment in the middle of the living room. Even if you succeed 10 times, you may fail once. It's time to find out if you can cut a sausage with a circular table saw. Well, maybe you'd find regular knives too boring one day and decide to put a tool like this in the kitchen. But it'll be the most foolish decision of your life. A circular saw will cope better with boards than with sausages. All because modern safety measures force the mechanism to stop and hide inside when it registers anything that looks like a finger. No time to explain. We're doing an experiment and a prank at the same time. Remember the instructions. You fill a balloon with helium, make a small hole in a soda can, and pump the gas inside. And don't forget the duct tape. Try it with your friends.
It's pretty good.
It works. They squeal like cartoon characters. Now you just have to find some helium. Hold on a second. Do you want to see some crazy stories from real life? Nothing dull, only action. Only adventures, chases and fights, love confessions and sudden betrayals. Don't believe us? Follow the link and see for yourselves. Our animation channel Private Diary reveals the deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe.